It's been a little over a year now since we were introduced to the third generation of the Apple TV 4K. And the main reason many people continue to choose the Apple TV over some of the other competition out there is because they just know that it's going to work. They know what to expect, and they know they can rely on it for a consistent experience. A big reason this device is able to deliver on those expectations is thanks to the A15. And it's not that the processors on some of those other streaming devices are necessarily bad, but when you stack it up against the A15, they leave a lot to be desired. In this day and age, I think we all know the benefits of having a streaming device over, what comes stock off the shelf with your average smart TV. The biggest drawback, of course, is not being able to upgrade the built-in processor and the horrendous user interface, while the Apple TV on the other side is a fully plug-and-play device that can be upgraded every couple of years without having to buy an entire new TV. But when you consider that this same A15 processor is the same chip that's still packaged with some of Apple's flagship products sold today, you won't have to worry about upgrading for quite a while, as it's plenty powerful to meet all your entertainment needs. Like with all of Apple products, whether you're browsing for different apps, creating custom folders, or tailoring the settings for optimization, you have the benefit of enjoying smooth animations and quick response times that roll effortlessly across your screen. While personalizing your Apple TV is a great way to ensure you're getting the most out of your purchase, you may come to the realization that your setup might not be ideal for everyone in your household. And that's where taking advantage of multiple user profiles comes into play. When you set up additional users for each member of the household that has an Apple ID, it will allow different users to have personalized up next lists, have unique AirPod settings, music settings, game center data, and content recommendations personalized for that particular user. Possibly the most underappreciated aspect of the user interface still has to be the absence of advertisements. In the digital world, most streaming devices are cluttered with constant promotional content and distracting ads. However, the Apple TV's homepage remains refreshingly clean and focused on what truly matters. This minimalistic approach not only enhances the overall aesthetic, but also underscores Apple's commitment to a user-centric experience that's kind of consistent across all its devices. When talking about consistency, we also have to mention picture quality. With support for Dolby Vision and HDR10 when using a compatible TV and HDMI cable, the picture quality still seems to amaze me with how vibrant the colors are and how much the details really pop out. One of the best parts about choosing the Apple TV has to be how easy they are to set up. If you're already immersed in the ecosystem of Apple devices, then you're probably already aware of what I'm talking about. Once you get everything plugged in and turned on, it's as simple as holding your iPhone close to your Apple TV and then following the on-screen prompts. And if you're upgrading from an earlier model of the Apple TV, all of your apps and settings are backed up in the cloud and can be directly imported during setup. And it's not just the setup that makes life easier either. There's a whole list of things that makes the integration worth it. For example, approving or denying transaction is as simple as receiving a notification on your phone that lets you do it with Face ID, typing in long movie titles or email addresses. There's no need to scroll forever clicking on individual letters. You can just use your iPhone as a remote. Or if you want to switch the audio to your AirPods because maybe somebody's sleeping in your house, just throw them in and you'll automatically see a prompt asking if you want to switch the audio. And then on the flip side, if you have HomePods in your house, you can choose to AirPlay that audio from your TV to one or more HomePods. We've used this in the past for parties and stuff like that, and it's always seemed to work great. Throw a little music video on maybe to the main TV, and then you can stream that audio throughout your other HomePods. The biggest advantage, and probably my favorite part about this device, is being able to keep an eye on things throughout the house through the use of notifications and security cameras. For instance, I can set up alerts complete with what to look for, and at what times that'll pull up the camera feed in the corner of the screen. Whether that's packages, vehicles, or even people. It's also the same thing when somebody rings my doorbell. And if it's a recognized face, it'll tell me exactly who it is, and I can control nearby accessories right there on the TV, like unlocking the front door or even turning on or off a light. And whenever any of the exterior doors lock or unlock, or maybe the garage door opens up, it'll let me know that status change as well. And if I'm expecting something, I can even pin that camera in the corner of the screen temporarily while I continue to consume some other content. Then this little thing right here is also a game changer, now offered with the USB-C over the previous model's Lightning cable. And you're able to enjoy that trackpad-like experience that's usually reserved for your MacBook right here on your Apple Remote. The battery's been improved with up to 4.5 months of use on a full charge, and overall it just feels nice in the hand. You can tell from the material and the weight that it was built really well and built to last. Not only will it turn on and control your Apple TV, but it's also designed to control accessories that you might have hooked up, allowing one remote to control everything. The Siri button on the side is more useful and comes in handy more than you might think. You're able to use it to open apps, pull up movie titles, and even set scenes. A few other cool ways that it can be used is if you missed what was said while watching your favorite show, all you have to do is ask, "What did they just say?" Or if you're curious to who that actor was in the scene of the movie you're watching, just say, "Who is that actor?" In essence, the Apple TV 4K is more than a device. It's a gateway to a connected, streamlined, and sophisticated home entertainment and management system. As technology evolves, Apple continues to set the standard, and the Apple TV is no exception. And when you take into consideration that the experience continues to get better through regular software updates, there's no question that this device is a good investment. Another thing to mention is that on average, we've been seeing an Apple TV released roughly every 2 years or so. So if you've been wanting to pick one up, but you don't mind waiting a little bit longer, there's a good possibility that we could see an even better Apple TV come to market later this year. And then on the flip side of that coin, if you can't wait any longer, I'll have some links down in the description that'll point you in the right direction. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.